Hello and welcome to Romanian Talks Football, and in today's video we are talking about Bradley Barcola to Liverpool and also bits and pieces about the team as well. So without further ado, let's start from something that the manager said after the game with Sunderland, and he said we need more defensive reinforcements. Of course, I talked in yesterday's video about Zabarny, and I do think he's being considered as well. Um, Josh Achapong also, it's a name tossed in the mix. At this point, I can't even be bothered. I just bring people in. If you want Ratio in, just bring him in. I don't know what's this latest. I get it with Brady Barcola. I do because obviously you are talking about a huge sum. You are talking about a player that, um, fair to what PSG is saying, it's a two times Champions League winner back to back, so they do come with a premium. Actually, they were saying, bear me for a moment. PSG sources argue Barcola is a back-to-back Champions League winner and should be worth more than Elliot Anderson 116 million and Morgan Rogers 117 million. Well, while this statement is factually true, it's not reality. Elliot Anderson is the best by far, uh, aside from Rodri. It's Rodri, then it's Anderson, and then it's everyone else. The DM market is so poor that a lot of teams are doing what Liverpool is doing and playing a number 8 as a DM, or playing with three number 8s instead of having a number 10, and other workarounds due to the shortage of actual competent DMs out there. So of course Elliot Anderson is gonna come at a premium. Also, uh, Nottingham Forest didn't want to sell him. Him and Morgan Rogers are a huge part of why Forest is still a Premier League team at the moment and is not in the Championship. So I do think there is way more factors into that price because one, Man City will pay, and two, Nottingham Forest didn't really need to sell, to be fair. So if you are going to negotiate with a club that doesn't want to sell, you are gonna have to pay extra. Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers. Chelsea simply paid this money because they wanted to uh, blow the deal for Arsenal and snuff it out. And that's what they did. Uh, if they were to get in a bidding war and actually risk losing the play, they could have probably got him around 100 million. Maybe a little bit over that, but definitely cheaper than 117. But Chelsea did not want to take the risk. They paid the money straight up. So it's not a one-to-one relationship. Also, Bradley Barcola has 2 years on his deal, and he's definitely said he doesn't want to proceed at PSG. So if PSG they keep him past this year, next summer they will have to sell him at a depreciated value. So I don't think PSG is caring too much about the money. I don't know. I don't know. They might just hold out on the price because they want squad depth. They might want to try uh, three Champions League back to back. So I do think they will stay solid. I think we will have to pay money in the Verts area to actually get Barcola. I don't see us getting him for around 100 million. I think it's gonna be in the 107, no, 110, 125 million pounds, obviously. Liverpool explored signing Barcola in 2025 on a price of around 85 million euros, around 73 million pounds was quoted. A year on, and PSG valuation starts at 170 million, around 145 million pounds. So yeah, of course. In the meanwhile, they won the Champions League. Barcola was decent. He was at the World Cup, so I do get why they are trying to get as much money as possible. Uh, Talksport, so this is from Talksport, understands their initial valuation will be around 80 million. So obviously, we are trying to really lowball them, see how they react. Because obviously, if they say, "Oh, this is way too low for us to entertain a discussion," Liverpool is gonna start at 100 or something like that. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Still, I don't hear anything about the bid being submitted, and I don't understand why are we not moving on this. Is this a communication from PSG? We want to sign Akliush first. We want to sort a replacement, and then we can start negotiation. So maybe that's it. But aside from that, I just don't understand this passivity. And some sources say it might go up until end of transfer uh, window. So I don't know. It's just put a bid in. Just get the process going. Although Liverpool views adding Barcola as an ideal scenario, there are no plans to overpay even in an inflated. I think this is not factually true. I don't think if given the choice of going in for Barcola and buying him at first money, because that would be overpaying for Barcola. Yeah, of course, 145, if that's a settled fee and they're gonna be, we are now lowering 1 cent. Yeah, walk away, find something else. But I do think it can be done for lower. So I'm still gonna say we're signing him, but we're gonna pay around Vert's money for him. Um, There's also a bit in their article about Rion Gamo. The club has faith in him, while Cody Gakpo will either stay or, under the right circumstances, be sold at a premium. And also Victor Munoz joined. Okay, so if Barcola comes, we need to offload either Cody Gakpo or Chiesa. Uh, on a tangent, Chiesa said he wants to stay and fight for his place at the club. And I can't say I hate that. I really like Chiesa. I don't think he's a fantastic footballer, but he really loves Liverpool. And personally, I love the dude. He's such a character, and every time, even when he's playing poorly, he's giving 100%, and I would keep him. I do think Gakpo, if he's not being sold this window, is gonna be sold next year when we are bringing someone else in, because I don't see him working under Iraola. Uh, yeah, I just don't. He doesn't have the pace. He doesn't track back. He doesn't press. He just likes to invert and try to take a shot, and that's not how Liverpool wants to play. So I don't think Gakpo is a fit for us, and I would expect him, especially if we pay Vert's money for uh, Barcola, I do expect him to be offloaded so we can keep that slot for a homegrown player, because we are allowed, I think we might be good, because I think we have one more slot for an non-homegrown player without the penalty. So I do think we're gonna be fine even if we keep Gakpo. But I do think he's getting uploaded. Meanwhile, what I find them more interesting, two things. So apparently Ryan is viewed as a dream alternative. Well, so from what I understood, they want Barcola on the left and either this year if it can be done or next year once his release clause activates. Put Ryan on the right. And I've got no issues with that. I do like Ryan, even though I think he had a quite poor showing at the World Cup. But it's also his first World Cup. He hasn't been around the Brazil squad for a while. And he's been excellent under Iraola. Continuation at the no disrespect to Bournemouth. They're actually, I'm gonna say something ridiculous. Bournemouth was my favorite team to watch last season because we were so shit. So I watched Bournemouth. They were fun to watch. What can I say? So I have nothing but the utmost respect for Bournemouth. But Liverpool, it's a massive upgrade for Ryan in quality, in prestige. So I do think he's gonna have better tools to become the fantastic winger I think he can be. But there are a few other alternatives in case Barcola is too expensive or something else happens. So, uh, two prominent names have been Cons forward Said El Mala and Lille star Matias Fernandez Pardo. Personally, I've heard about Francisco, is the Francisco Trincao from Juventus as well, which I do think out of all these three players, Trincao fits the best because he likes to take people on. He has good progressive. He's aggressive. He has the pace. So I do think I would rather go for Juventus's Trincao rather than any of these two. Brighton Yakuba Minte has also been discussed, but tags are not active. I'm not fussed about this. I do think maybe Iraola can make Minte work, but also the price was too high. So if they wanted 60, 70 million for him now, 40, 50 million, and we have a talk if we are getting Barcola and maybe get him for squad depth, yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with that. But if we are bringing him as a starter, as a Barcola replacement, definitely not. I would say definitely not to either of these other two. If we get Barcola, if we can get Barcola, the other options would be Ryan, which I don't think they're gonna sell him. So I would say Barcola is more realistic than Ryan at the moment. I would go for Trincao. I don't see any other wingers that have the promise and are accessible to get. Obviously, ideally, we'll go all in on Olise, are gonna come out of the blue, give 200 million or 150 and Cody Gap and get Olise, but we can all dream, can't we? And the best part of this article, and it warms my soul when I hear this. Meanwhile, Chelsea's Pedro Neto is not believed to be on Red's list of potential targets. Thank the heebie-jeebies. This guy, Pedro Neto, is literally Cody Gakpo from Temu. No, actually, I'm insulting Cody Gakpo. He's Martinelli from Temu. This guy is horrible. Yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that. And just as a closure statement, basically, I want to read out what Andoni Iraola said on Sunday. No, I think it's difficult to say a number when the market is open and when you have to be always open to new options to improve the squad. So that's referring to adding players to the squad. There are obvious situations that we know where we need to sign players. A winger, for example, we definitely need to sign a winger. Agreed. But there are other situations that we will have to analyze what the market gives you, what's the cost, how we also see the players we have. Nothing to disagree with this. I think Iraola was spot on, put the dot on the I. And the market is complicated, and I get why he's not trying to put pressure on the board, and he's not trying to completely eliminate the fringe players or the players that might become fringe players if we bring new players in. So I do completely agree with everything he said. What about you guys? Do you think we're getting Barcola? Are we getting it, Ryan? Don't get me started. Barcola, Ryan, and I be buzzing. If we get Barcola, Ryan, Jet Spence, and the Barney, that's it. I'm gonna be so hyped for the next season. Anyways, do you think we're getting Barcola, or do you have any other alternatives? If you like the video, please leave a like, maybe a subscribe if you fancy that. Feel free to leave a comment as long as you're respectful. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel and build a community. Anyways, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and I wish you nothing but the best.